The opportunity of a lifetime awaits two members of the Open Mic universe. All they got to do is get through 5 opponents, climb a ladder, and pull down a briefcase hanging above the ring. Shouldn't be too hard. Welcome to Money in the Bank. We're going to kick off the night with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, Giulia, Raquel Rodriguez, Charlotte Flair, and Rhea Ripley. And one of these women will walk out tonight with that Money in the Bank briefcase. Bianca, the only woman in this year's match who has previously won the Money in the Bank ladder match. And tonight, she looks to be a back-to-back Miss Money in the Bank. But the field is stacked. This match, Bianca, a former women's champion. Charlotte, a former women's champion. Raquel, a former women's champion. Rhea Ripley, a former women's champion. And these women aren't just former champions, they are multiple-time former champions. Whoever walks out tonight will have earned it. This one underway. The rules of the match are simple. The only way to win is to climb a ladder, retrieve the briefcase hanging above the ring, and you win the match and you become this year's Money in the Bank briefcase holder. No pinfalls, no submissions, no countouts, no disqualifications. And you're going to see we will have, well, we just saw one there. Chairs used as weapons, ladders used as weapons, tables. And not just limited to the announce table, there are tables under the ring that can be used as weapons, kendo sticks, bats, sledgehammers. Anything goes. If you want to win, you've got to be the one to climb the ladder and pull down the briefcase. And in this match tonight, the only woman who has done it, Bianca Belair. She was last year's Miss Money in the Bank. And if you were to ask Bianca, she does not have the fondest of memories of being Miss Money in the Bank. She took kind of an unconventional route in cashing in. She announced her cash in advance. She did it in the lead up to SummerSlam last year. Raquel Rodriguez, the WCW Women's Champion at the time, Bianca let her know ahead of time that she would be cashing in. And that move kind of backfired on Bianca. That gave Raquel an opportunity to prepare for her opponent. The great thing about Charlotte going up, but Raquel knocking her and the ladder down. The element of surprise with the briefcase and the cash-in, because again, you can use it when the champion has just finished a tough title defense, or maybe you cash in the middle of a match. But there's that element of surprise that kind of gives you, as the briefcase holder, the advantage. Bianca threw that advantage out the window last summer. And again, that gave Raquel, number one, she didn't have to worry about, in the back of her mind, Bianca could always cash in at any time. She knew when the cash-in was coming. And that gave her an opportunity to game plan, to prepare for Bianca Belair. So it was no different than a regular title defense. And unfortunately for Bianca, she came up on the losing end. And so I'm guessing that if Bianca's the one to pull down that briefcase again this year, I don't think she's going to make that same mistake again. Bianca there with a spear to Raquel. Now Rhea back in the ring. Rhea and Bianca, the only two in the ring. All the 4 other women on the outside. Got Chelsea all on her own, laid out on the floor. Charlotte and Raquel on the opposite side of the ring. Giulia on her feet. Now in comes Chelsea Green. But some of the cash-in stipulations that go along with Money in the Bank, we had to change, a rule change last year. The first 2 years of the Open Mic Universe, whatever brand you were on as the winner of the Money in the Bank briefcase, you had to cash in on that brand. So in this match, we've got 3 ladies representing WWE, Charlotte, Chelsea, and Raquel Rodriguez. 3 women representing WCW, Bianca Belair, Giulia, and Rhea Ripley. So the first 2 years, if let's say Bianca last year won it on the WCW roster, she had to cash in on the WCW champion. But if she held on to that briefcase up until the next year's draft and say she got drafted to WWE, then that briefcase would go with her to the WWE. Last year we changed it up. It's not a brand exclusive briefcase. You can cash in on the opposite brand, but what happens is if you cash in and you win, you become that brand's new champion, and the champion that you defeated replaces you on the roster that you were previously on. That scenario actually played out for the men last year. Ricochet was the Money in the Bank winner for the men last year. He was on the WCW roster. He would cash in last year during our Great American Bash Tour. He would cash in on the WWE World Champion, Jey Uso, after Jey had a brutal match against Jacob Fatu. Ricochet would cash in and become the new WWE World Champion. And because he came from WCW, Jey had to then go and join the WCW roster to replace Ricochet on the roster. Now, Ricochet's time as champion lasted about 24 hours. But by that point, he was already on the WWE roster, and that is where he stayed until he was released from his contract. Raquel now looks like, nope, thought maybe she was going out to get a ladder. We have not seen really Charlotte, the only one who has made an attempt to climb a ladder here. Usually we're used to seeing a lot more attempts up the ladder, but in this one, I don't really know what the thought process is. KOD from Bianca. Giulia rolls out to the floor. Now Bianca takes the ladder from Raquel and then sets it up in the other corner. One thing you need in a match like this, you got to have a lot of luck. You got to have some speed. You also have to be able to crawl through a window, no matter how small that window might be cracked, because you don't have all night to get up the ladder, get the briefcase. So in an ideal situation, you've got the other 5 ladies on the outside either out and down or fighting. Giulia with the reversal sends Bianca to the floor. Charlotte to the floor now. And now Chelsea. Everybody, Chelsea climbing the ladder. Rhea heading for the ladder. No, Giulia cuts her off. And I don't know if maybe Giulia doesn't realize that Chelsea's up there. But nobody is paying attention, and Chelsea Green gets the briefcase. She's the winner, and she is your new Miss Money in the Bank. Congratulations, Chelsea Green. With Jey Uso getting drafted over to WWE, it didn't take Drew McIntyre long to find his next target. And that target would be Jey's brother Jimmy, who got drafted over to WCW from the WWE. In Jimmy's first night in WCW, he would be in a Money in the Bank qualifying match against Trick Williams. As Jimmy was making his way to the ring, the Scottish Psychopath would strike from behind, attacking Jimmy. And ultimately, this attack was a big reason why Jimmy came up on the losing end in his qualifying match. And again, Jimmy's come out and said he's not mad at Trick. Trick took advantage of an opportunity that was right in front of him. That's the thing to do. But here tonight at Money in the Bank, Jimmy looking to get a little bit of revenge, a little bit of payback against Drew McIntyre. And for whatever reason, Drew has got a problem with the Uso family. Now that he can't make Jey's life a living hell anymore, he is more than happy to try to do the same to Jimmy. And even though Drew's WCW United States Championship is not on the line here tonight, payback is all that is on the mind of Big Jimmy Uso. If you look back at Jey's time here in WCW, he wasn't here for long, about 10 months, but he made the most of his time here. You know, Jimmy was thinking of starting out this next chapter of his career the same. Here we go. Jimmy moves out of the way. We know Drew McIntyre is aggressive, but you can take that aggression if you play your cards right and you're patient and methodical. You can use that to your advantage. Big super kick from Jimmy Uso. But again, Jimmy was looking at this new beginning, this new chapter in his career here in WCW. And for him, the best way to kick that off would have been to qualify and participate in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Jimmy is a former world champion. He held the WWE World Championship for a few months just a year ago, less than a year ago. If you can get your hands on that Money in the Bank briefcase, that can open up a lot of possibilities, a lot of options for you. And even though his cousin is the WWE World Champion right now, and they are on good terms right now, it was Roman Reigns that he defeated last year at SummerSlam to become WWE World Champion. McIntyre tossing Jimmy across the ring. Now McIntyre with some boots to Jimmy Uso. What's Trick Williams? Music hits, his Titantron playing, and that allows Jimmy to get back into it. McIntyre didn't let that last long. Drops Jimmy down on the top rope. And now McIntyre in position. Wait, Jimmy, he's back to his feet. And now sends McIntyre into the corner. Jimmy Uso fired up now. He climbs to the top rope. Uso splash. And that is it. While Jimmy Uso may not be walking out of Money in the Bank with the briefcase, he does get some payback here tonight with an assist from Trick Williams. We've got a handicap match coming up next. Bronson Reed taking on Fraxium. Bronson Reed, who came over to WWE in this year's draft, has made his presence feel pretty painful. Let's look back at what got us here. His debut match, he defeated Axiom And then afterwards, he proceeded to beat down and embarrass Axiom further in what he calls an aftershock. Tried to do the same against Nathan Frazier with a chair, but Axiom, in just the nick of time, makes the save. And here tonight, they will team up to take on Big Bronson Reed. If you are unfamiliar with how a handicap match works, Fraxium does have the man advantage, being as though this is a 2-on-1 match, but they have to follow tag team rules, meaning this is not a free-for-all. They're not just both in there against Reed at the same time. They still have to make legal tags and follow basic tag team rules. However, I don't know that really concerns Bronson Reed all that much. Here we go. Right off the bat, Bronson Reed with some heavy shots to Axiom. After the initial attack from Bronson Reed, Axiom's tag team partner Nathan Frazier demanded a match against Bronson. And like you saw in the video package, it kind of followed the same suit. And now that, and here's Reed with his first cover. Only gets a 1. Now that Reed's here in WWE, he's looking to kind of get a fresh start. A lot of people would say he's coming across as a bully, and that's just fine if people have that belief. According to Bronson Reed, he doesn't care. He is here not to make friends, but to further his own career. And if he's got to go through and embarrass whoever gets in his way, that's just fine with him. Axiom now, eats an elbow. Axiom now showing some balance on the ropes. Drop kick off the second rope. Bronson Reed now down. And Axiom going over makes the tag. In comes Nathan Frazier. Scoops Reed up now. He is going up top. Big splash off the top rope, hooks the leg. But Reed able to kick out at 2. Frazier off the ropes. Reed moves out of the way. And a big clothesline from Big Bronson Reed. Now applying some pressure to the shoulder and neck area of Frazier. Frazier trying to get back to his feet. Now Reed scooping Frazier up. And a running senton. We saw a lot of those in the singles matches that Reed had against both men. And another running senton. Gets Frazier up. Death Valley driver. This could be it. Hooks the leg. In comes Axiom. Axiom with the save. This one continues. Back to his feet. Bronson Reed with a sit-down axe driver. Hooks the leg. And that's going to do it. Bronson Reed, even with the disadvantage in this handicap match, comes away with the victory against Fraxium. Up next, our only championship match of the night for the WWE Women's Championship. Becky Asuka 2. They're going to run it back in a rematch from last month's In Your House. A match that Becky Lynch won, but there is a growing belief from a lot of fans that believe that Becky was very lucky to walk out of In Your House still the WWE Women's Champion. And I gotta be honest, I don't feel that that's a fair assessment. Look, every championship match isn't gonna be dominated by the champion. There are gonna be battles. You're gonna have opponents that are gonna push you to the edge, push you to the brink. That is what Asuka did last month when she took on Becky Lynch. Sure, could Asuka very easily have walked out the new WWE Women's Champion? Maybe if a move goes one way instead of another, anything can happen. It didn't. Becky won. Becky has heard the grumblings. She's the one who offered this match here tonight. We will see if the result stays the same, or if Asuka can find a way to get over the hump. Asuka with the early advantage here. Becky, though, fighting her way out of the corner. Becky, one of the most decorated champions here in the open mic universe. This her third reign as WWE Women's Champion. Also a former two-time WCW Women's Champion. Asuka still looking for her first championship in the universe. Reversal. One thing these two do have in common, they are former Royal Rumble winners. Becky, the most recent Royal Rumble winner. Asuka, the winner of last year's Royal Rumble. Asuka unsuccessfully taking on WCW Women's Champion Rhea Ripley back at WrestleMania 2. Becky successful in her championship opportunity at this past year's WrestleMania 3, where she defeated Nia Jax. Asuka with a missile dropkick off the top rope. Now she comes back in the ring. This is a championship match, and championships cannot change hands via countout. I would have thought maybe Asuka would have tried to get Becky back into the ring, but again, this is new territory for Asuka. She is not experienced being a champion so far here in our universe. Becky now back in control. Becky up top, leg drop off the top rope, goes for the cover. But Asuka able to kick out at 2. Now Becky in position, but misses there. And Asuka with a reversal of her own. And a very awkward leg sweep into a pin attempt. Sometimes, you pull something out of your toolbox like that catches your opponent off guard. Now Asuka up on the second turnbuckle. Code breaker. Now Asuka grabbing the arm of Becky Lynch. Asuka with the Asuka lock locked in. And she's going to do it. Becky tapping out. Asuka, your winner here. It has been a long time coming for Asuka. 3+ years in pursuit of a championship, and she gets it done here tonight at Money in the Bank. Congratulations to Asuka, your new WWE Women's Champion. Well, Eric Bischoff waited as long as he could. We will find out if this match even takes place. Will Brock Lesnar show up here tonight? Will he accept Seth Rollins' challenge? We will find out. Hold on. I'm being told there's something going on in the back. Drew McIntyre attacking Trick Williams. Trick probably in the back getting ready for the Money in the Bank ladder match. But we saw earlier in Drew's match against Jey Uso, in the middle of that match, Trick Williams' music hit, his Titantron played, and while he didn't come out, that was enough of a distraction that ultimately cost Drew McIntyre that match against Jimmy. And the Scottish Psychopath on the warpath here. And he is beating the hell out of Trick Williams. Sends him into that road case. I don't know why where the hell's security? Nobody in the back to try to get some order here. Williams sent into that door. I don't know what this means for Trick Williams in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I guess we will keep you updated on his status. Okay, Brock. This is it. Are you a beast or are you a bitch? Damn, pretty strong words from Seth Rollins. I have not heard, nobody has seen Brock here tonight, but his music hits. I guess that means the beast is here. Or is this just some mind games from Brock Lesnar? No, here he is. Now Brock, for those of you new to the Open Mic universe, he has been suspended from the Open Mic universe and WCW for over a year. He was not showing up to events, and WCW management suspended him. And then on the Nitro of Draft Week, Seth Rollins defeated Drew McIntyre in the main event. The lights would go out, and Brock Lesnar was here. And he would choke slam Seth freaking Rollins. And Rollins approached Eric Bischoff. He said, "What the hell's going on?" Bischoff said Lesnar had not been reinstated. And Rollins let Bischoff know whatever it takes, lift the suspension, do whatever. But he wanted Brock Lesnar here tonight at Money in the Bank, and the Beast has answered that challenge. Brock, not somebody who says many words. We don't know why. Right away, Rollins. And now goes for a cover. We don't know why Rollins was attacked by Brock Lesnar. We don't know why, after all this time, Lesnar decided to show up to work, why he was here on Nitro. Lesnar down on the floor. Rollins trying to get the crowd into this one, and now Lesnar back to his feet. But with Brock Lesnar, there really sometimes doesn't even need to be a reason. He is one of the baddest men on the planet. He kind of does whatever the hell he wants to do. Now with some heavy knees to the midsection of Seth Rollins. Taking Rollins and dropping him down on the top rope. Now Rollins showing a little fight, fights his way out. And now does the same to Lesnar. All that weight coming down on that top rope. Now Rollins to the apron. Delivers a knee to the face of the Beast, and Lesnar moves out of the way. And now delivers a big boot to Seth freaking Rollins. This is where Lesnar can get really dangerous. Your best bet with Brock Lesnar, you want to catch him early and catch him quick. At the same time, Brock doesn't like to work for long. Gets Rollins up. F5. This might be it. Lesnar with the cover. But somehow Rollins gets his shoulder up. And Brock with a suplex. Lesnar in position, another suplex. Rollins getting the first-hand tour, the up-close personal tour of Suplex City, and a third suplex here. Lesnar and Brock Lesnar with the win as he defeats Seth Freakin Rollins. I guess that means Brock Lesnar is back, and that is bad news for WCW. We have got one more match to go, our main event, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I can confirm Trick Williams has been cleared to compete after that vicious attack by Drew McIntyre earlier tonight backstage. Trick will be joined by Jey Uso, Damian Priest, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Gunther. You can tell looking at Trick there, got some bruising there to his face. Gunther, the only previous Money in the Bank ladder match winner, and you've got to go all the way back to year one of the Open Mic universe. He was our very first Mr. Money in the Bank. And there's one thing we can say about Gunther's time with the Money in the Bank briefcase. He was a patient man. And he held that briefcase for almost a year, holding it all the way to our very first WrestleMania, WrestleMania 1, where he would cash in mid-match and join the match for the WCW World Heavyweight title. He was not successful that night. That's kind of been the theme with the Money in the Bank briefcase here in the Open Mic universe. We have had one successful men's briefcase holder cash in and one successful women's Money in the Bank briefcase cash in. And so here in the universe, having that briefcase has not been a guarantee. In fact, there's a higher chance that you are not going to successfully cash it in. But we will see here tonight who joins Chelsea Green as this year's men's Money in the Bank briefcase holder. Kind of surprised that with that battle we saw between Asuka and Becky Lynch that Chelsea didn't try to cash in here tonight, but she didn't. Well, this one is getting started. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And let me know down in the comments what you think of this year's Money in the Bank. Got a new first-time briefcase holder in Chelsea Green on the women's side. We've got a brand new WWE Women's Champion, Asuka. She is a champion now for the first time here in the Open Mic universe. We will find out who will walk out with the men's briefcase here before the end of the night. I'm hoping we see some more attempts at trying to go and get the briefcase. Spear there by Jey Uso. In the women's match, there's Jey going up top and not using the ladder to go after the briefcase. He's going to use it as a launch pad for an Uso splash down on Trick Williams. Trick, who not coming into this one 100% after getting attacked backstage by Drew McIntyre. Cody now trying to get his hands on the briefcase, but Damian Priest sends him crashing down. McIntyre taking some issue with Trick's music and Titantron playing during his match against Jimmy Uso, which ultimately ended up costing McIntyre in that match. But Trick has been checked by our medical staff and he has been cleared. Although clearly not 100% here. Gunther now down to the floor. CM Punk back to his feet on the outside. Cody with a chair, but Trick with a low blow to the American Nightmare. Looked for a second there like maybe Trick was going to make the climb. Trick had a huge upset victory earlier this week on Thunder. He defeated Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest in a triple threat match. Gunther now with the ladder, but Jey bringing Gunther back to reality. Trick and Jey with a kick to the midsection there. In this match, we've got some former world champions, Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and Damian Priest. And Gunther sending that set of steel steps as a lawn dart, taking out Cody Rhodes. Jey now making the climb again. CM Punk back in the ring, and so is Gunther. Already the men here making more attempts to try to get that briefcase down. And again, the only way to get it is to try to pull it down, and you need the ladder to do it, so why not? Try to get up there as many times as you can. Now Trick and Gunther, the only two left in the ring. Gunther sending Trick to the outside, to the floor. Gunther with the ladder set up. Nobody within a short distance to try to stop Gunther. Gunther all the way up. Here comes Cody. Here comes Priest and Cody. This could be just like what we saw with Chelsea Green. Gunther is getting very close. Spear by Jey Uso. And that spear actually kind of knocked Gunther off balance. CM Punk now tips the ladder over and down goes Gunther. Gunther was very close there to pulling that briefcase down. If it wasn't for that spear by Jey Uso to Cody Rhodes, which kind of knocked Gunther a little bit off balance, and then eventually CM Punk able to knock that ladder down. Trick Williams down, Gunther down. Cody down now. And Damian Priest back in the ring, but Jey was able to catch him before he was able to get him from behind. CM Punk down in the ring. Now Cody back in there. Cody going for the ladder, but changes his mind and then gets hit with a kendo stick by Trick Williams. CM Punk out for a stroll on the outside of the ring. I don't really know what the hell he's doing. Gunther going up top. Comes down hard on Trick. Now Punk clearing the ring, taking everybody out. Cody out on the floor. Jey out on the floor, both now back to their feet. Gunther taking a little breather in the corner. Now Jey with the chair to Cody Rhodes. Now Jey bringing the chair inside the ring. Trick looking to try to get the ladder, but Jey taking everybody out with the steel chair. CM Punk tried to use the kendo stick on Cody, but Cody able to block it and use the kendo stick for himself. Gunther with the ladder set back up again. Priest down in the ring. Gunther making the climb. Jey entering the ring. And again, Gunther back down to the mat. And Trick from behind takes down Jey Uso. Gets Priest up, sends Priest into the ropes. Trick shot from Williams, and now Trick going to the outside. He's going to get another ladder. Cody out on his feet, out against the announce table. Bulldog from CM Punk. And it looks like he may be ready to... Nope. Thought maybe he was going to try to put Trick to sleep, but Trick eats a super kick from Jey instead. Now Cody alone in the ring. And Cody with the ladder set up. He's going to try again. Starts to climb up. Here comes Jey. And Jey tries to pull Cody down, but unable to do so. Cody coming down on his own. Now Trick trying to work on the ladder, sends Cody crashing down. Got to give Jey credit. He's probably made the most saves so far tonight. Kick to the midsection from Jey to CM Punk. Punk off the ropes. And Punk goes crashing into the ladder. Now Jey climbing up top to the top rope. Uso splash down on CM Punk. Now Jey gonna try to go get the briefcase for himself here. And here comes Cody. It's so close, and Cody knocks Jey down. Jey rolls out to the floor. Gunther down on the outside. Priest down on the outside. Punk kind of out on his feet there, but he is now working with Gunther here as they suplex Trick Williams. Priest now back in the ring. Gets Cody up. And Cody slides out of the Razor's Edge. Gunther sent into the corner. Priest down in the middle of the ring. Trick grabbing another ladder. Punk down on the floor. Everybody else in the ring. Well, nope. Trick joining Punk on the floor. Jey now on the opposite side of the ring. Now Punk back in there. Priest was trying to get to the center of the ring with the ladder, but met Cody Rhodes, who hits a crossroads. Priest now rolls out to the floor. Gunther down. Cody up. Was trying for a pedigree, but Punk able to reverse it. Trick back up. Gunther gets a table from under the ring and uses the table on Trick Williams. Here comes, and then throws the table at Damian Priest. Punk now out on the floor. Cody clotheslines Jey out of the ring. And now Cody all alone, going to make the climb. Trick now back in the ring. But it's too late. Cody Rhodes gets the briefcase. And he's your winner of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.